Police say an officer's gun went off accidentally. But black leaders in Lexington have their doubts and say they want a grand jury investigation. 10 police officers were hurt when they were hit by flying rocks and bottles. In Cape Town, South Africa, 3 black men have been convicted of killing Amy Beale. Prosecutors say she died simply because she was white. She was a Stanford University exchange student who was in South Africa to help end apartheid. She was pulled from her car, beaten and stabbed. A lawyer for the 3 killers say his clients had been swept up by political emotions.
President Clinton has arrived in Cairo, Egypt. He will attend tomorrow's signing of a treaty between Israel and Egypt. During his 10 hours in Cairo, Clinton will meet with Egyptian President Mubarak and PLO chief Yasser Arafat. With the signing of that treaty just hours away, Israel and Jordan are preparing to make peace bloom in the desert. They are preparing what was a former minefield on the border and what will now be the site of tomorrow's signing. The investigation into the crash of USAir Flight 427 is taking a new turn tonight. Experts say they have found contaminants in the rudder's hydraulic fluid. However, they don't know whether that played a role in the crash. Rudders help to turn an airplane. USAir Flight 427 rolled to the left before smashing into the ground. The plane was approaching Pittsburgh's airport when it crashed last month. All 132 people on board were killed.
Folks fighting for gay rights in North Idaho have picked up a powerful and unlikely supporter. Today, KREM TV News learned Coeur d'Alene resort owner and newspaper owner Dwayne Hagedorn is helping the Vote No on Proposition 1 campaign. Convention boycotts pushed by homosexuals cost places like Colorado millions of dollars. Hagedorn is apparently worried similar boycotts could help North Idaho's tourism industry. More on Hagedorn's surprise position later in this newscast. The tight race for Tom Foley's congressional seat is cutting across the wheat fields of the 5th District. The small farming communities have almost always been conservative and mostly supportive of Tom Foley over the years. But this year, the decision between Foley and challenger George Nethercutt is a tough one. Members of the Washington wheat growers heard both Nethercutt and Foley talk about what they could offer.
I absolutely disagree with the suggestion of Secretary Babbitt that he wants to be the first secretary to provide for the tearing down of the dams or one of the dams in the Pacific Northwest. Not on my watch, ladies and gentlemen.
Even so, Nethercutt claims a lot of support within the agricultural community. But later in this evening, it was all Democrats as local labor organizations put on a candidates rally for Foley and other Democratic candidates. Tonight's rally was preaching to the choir. Most analysts believe it is the 10 to 20% of undecided voters that Foley and Nethercutt will have to appeal to during the next 2 weeks. Meanwhile, Foley is losing support from the powerful National Rifle Association. NRA officials in Spokane today say they're divorcing Foley. Last week, the NRA began airing those anti-Foley ads featuring Charlton Heston. The group won't say how much money they're spending to unseat the speaker, but they say the marriage between the NRA and Foley is over.
Fired in the Foley.
Mr. Foley is a very powerful and influential man. And any powerful, influential man who wants to retain that will do whatever it takes to stay in.
The National Rifle Association is dropping its 15-year support of Foley because of his vote to ban semi-automatic weapons, a provision of President Clinton's crime bill.
Well, Ron Sims, far behind in the polls, came to Spokane today on the offensive. Standing outside his opponent's campaign office, Sims called Slade Gordon a junket junkie. He claims Gordon took 32 trips across country and abroad from special interest groups during his last 2 terms in office. Today, Gordon announced he won't take those trips if reelected. We asked Sims if he'd make the same pledge.
I'm going to take that. People want the government back. Trust is very, very important. And all these trips seem meaningless, but they're not, because the public says when you're on those trips, whoa, hold it a second.
Sims says Gordon's decision to refuse those trips is a sign the senator was caught with his hand in the cookie jar, and he'll get spanked by voters on November 8th. Meanwhile, Senator Gordon is attacking proposed legislation from the Department of Housing and Urban Development. HUD is proposing that mobile home parks catering to senior citizens meet certain federal standards. At a meeting in Spokane tonight, opponents to that legislation say the standards are too vague and could result in higher rents. We'll take a closer look at tonight's meeting and this proposed legislation in just a few minutes.
Just in, Kootenai County officials have called off their search tonight for a man who drove his pickup into Lake Coeur d'Alene. It happened about 6 o'clock this evening. Witnesses say the man was driving on Highway 97 near Wolf Bay, about 10 miles east of Coeur d'Alene. That's when he left the highway, drove onto a boat launch, and plunged into the lake. There are unconfirmed reports the driver from Squaw Bay was intoxicated. Divers called off their search tonight because of darkness. They'll resume it tomorrow morning.
Well, those are your top 10 stories here on the Night Watch.
Here's Tom Sherry now with your no-wait weather.
We're going to talk about some rain showers moving into the region. As a matter of fact, for tonight, we'll call for an overnight low of 40 degrees and southeasterly winds 10 to 20. Rain developing late tonight, actually early towards tomorrow morning. Looks like we'll see a daytime high near 56 and also a blustery day. Southerly winds at 15 to 25 miles an hour. It looks like the wet weather will stick with us at least through Thursday. More on that in just a few minutes.
Okay.
We need it.
Coming up on the Night Watch, we're going to take a closer look at the proposed new federal regulations facing mobile home parks that cater to seniors.
Also, are silicone breast implants really dangerous to your health? New research shows a surprising answer. We'll have that story just ahead.
30 years in Congress means you got certain benefits beyond the $170,000 salary, the fat pension, the round-the-clock limo. Benefits like sweetheart stock deals that made Tom Foley more than $100,000 in profits, deals that weren't available to ordinary people. The Seattle Times said taxpayers find it difficult to swallow the argument that Foley's profits are legal and unrelated to his political position. Now you know why Foley sued the voters to stop term limits. Why get off the gravy train?
Amy O'Neill, dance teacher. Ari Sanchez, master carpenter. Megan Kwan, heart specialist. Christopher Nolan.
You're looking at the future, a future made brighter by a change in attitude. You see, more and more Americans are deciding against abortion. And when you think what this means to our future, you could say it's a small miracle. Life, what a beautiful choice.
For what you put into your relationship with your bank, are you getting enough out of it? At KeyBank, our Key Preference Plan gives you a premium rate CD, plus preferred pricing on financial services. Get more out of your life. Get more out of your bank. At KeyBank, America's neighborhood bank.
With its Chrysler Infiniti 11-speaker sound system and sumptuous leather-trimmed interior, the Chrysler LHS strongly suggests Fortune 500. However, with its 3.5-liter 214-horsepower engine, you wouldn't rule out Indianapolis 500. The Chrysler LHS.
See your local Northwest Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
This is KREM 2 News Night Watch.
Officials from the Department of Housing and Urban Development are on the hot seat tonight for proposing that mobile home parks catering to senior citizens must meet certain federal standards. The legislation is designed to ensure quality housing for seniors, but mobile home park owners worry it will result in higher rents. At a meeting in the Spokane Valley tonight, opponents argued the legislation is too vague and could lead to a decrease in affordable senior housing.
The criteria are so subjective that the housing providers don't know what it takes to meet the exemption and probably won't want to risk the penalties and fines if they don't comply if there's an investigation.
Senator Slade Gordon has introduced a bill to prevent this proposal. No one from Housing and Urban Development attended tonight's meeting. KREM 2 will speak with a HUD representative about this proposal tomorrow. And from our North Idaho newsroom tonight, Shoshone County deputies are investigating a robbery and assault of 2 disabled men from the Moon Gulch area near Kellogg. According to the victims, they were beaten and nearly strangled by 2 or 3 men they knew. all for a VCR and stereo.
And when I came conscious, I thought I was already dead from the twitching of my neck. I thought maybe I already broken. I was just dead and it was leaving my body or something.
I was laying on the floor scared. I thought they would come back and come back and kill us.
Deputies are looking for two men tonight, 24-year-old Brent W. Atkinson of Post Falls and 23-year-old Chad E. Emmett of Coeur d'Alene. If you have any information on this case, you are asked to call the Shoshone County Sheriff's Office at 556-1114. This is the third time the disabled men have been robbed, each time by someone they knew.
ATF agents are searching the home of a man in Spanaway, arrested earlier today, driving around Tacoma with a car full of explosives. 44-year-old Harry Miller lost his hand when a grenade he was holding exploded. When police arrived, they found 9 grenades, blasting caps, dynamite, and other explosives in his car. Drug paraphernalia also found in Miller's car.
New medical research is casting doubt on whether silicone breast implants cause connective tissue disorder. A government-funded study released today finds no direct connection between implants and the disease. Another study released yesterday came to a similar conclusion. But one expert notes only leaking implants have resulted in complaints. Implant leaks led to the federal government to put a moratorium on their use. Well, fortunately, places in the world to do business, and you don't have to go far to find a few of them. Seattle and Portland were both named as attractive commercial centers worldwide. Hong Kong, #1, New York, #2. 21 U.S. cities made the grade. Others on the West Coast include Los Angeles and San Diego.
As we mentioned a little earlier, the elections are now just 2 weeks away, a fact not missed by David Letterman. Tonight, Dave presents the top 10 things Teddy Kennedy can do to win the election. The Kennedys may never forgive Dave after tonight.
Oh, yeah.
The Late Show with your TV pal, David Letterman, at 11:35, following the Night Watch.
That should be good. And coming up, talk about a steamy study. Daytime TV is now the focus of research.
Well, when the Night Watch continues, find out what the researchers think of Love in the Afternoon.
Oh, my.
Ron Sims was born in Spokane. He understands the people of Eastern Washington, and I think he'd make a great man in the U.S. Senate.
You know, I want to protect our communities that depend on fishing, our communities that depend on timber, our farming communities, our rural communities. I want to be a senator that the farming community can say, hey, he's standing behind us and he's fighting for us.
Well, that's what we need in the U.S. Senate, and that's exactly why you'll get my vote.
Thank you.
October is Car Care Month at your neighborhood Parts Plus Auto Store. Come on in for special car care values like these. Maintenance-free Auto Saver batteries feature premium starting power and exceptional reserve capacity. Take advantage of $5 mail-in rebate now and save an additional 10% off our everyday low price on a variety of durable automotive floor mats from Rubber Queen. Available now at your participating Parts Plus Auto stores in Kendrick and Moscow, Idaho, and Pullman, Washington.
Tom Foley has fought to protect your Medicare and to protect Social Security from raids to make up the budget deficit. George Nethercutt has signed a contract with his party's leaders in Congress to vote for a huge tax cut for the wealthy. The contract Nethercutt signed would cost $1 trillion over 5 years, could result in a Social Security cut of $170 a month for the average senior in Washington state, or a 31% cut in Medicare. Don't let Nethercutt sign away your Social Security.
How incredible value is the all-new Eagletown? This is exciting. Certified government accountant Warren Kruger is here to help us find out. Take it for a spin. I'm off. He's off. Warren, the wonder accountant is back. Warren, what do you think?
Sounds great. 140 horsepower engine, dual airbags, double wishbone suspension.
What would the U.S. government pay for something like this?
14 million tops.
Shouldn't that decimal point be over there?
Yeah.
Test drive a Talon at your Jeep and Eagle dealer or call us.
This is KREM 2 News Night Watch.
Tom says we've got some windy, wet weather coming our way.
Yeah, we've already seen some rain over on the west side, and it's headed our way, and we've got a couple of storm systems we're going to show you. First, we're going to talk about today's high, which was 58 degrees. Last night's low, 36. There you see the normal temperatures as well. Warmest it's ever been back in 1966, and we show you the record low of 12 in 1919. Cloudy and 45 right now. Southeasterly winds at 5 miles an hour. Coeur d'Alene checks in at 41 degrees. Wind out of the northeast at 10 miles per hour, and it looks like we're seeing already on the radar, as you can tell right there, quite a bit of rain on the west side of the state, and the brighter the color there, as we get more of a yellow color, the more intense the storm system as it begins to move inland. As a matter of fact, 2,200 homes in the Mount Vernon area were without power today because of strong winds that downed some trees across the power lines. Mount Vernon located north of Seattle. But take a look at that storm system. There's the first band, and you can see the second storm just beginning to move into your picture. So we've got a couple of systems that are going to move through the area and bring us much needed rain to the inland northwest. Boy, I tell you what, the forecast across central Washington is just what they want to see. Lots of rain because, heck, that whole Yakima Basin has had a terrible drought. 58 degrees will be the high in Moses Lake, 61 in Wenatchee. Across northern Idaho, you'll see more rain the farther north you head in the state. That means Sandpoint on down through Coeur d'Alene. We'll look for a high of about 53, and then scattered showers across Moscow, Pullman, and down into Lewiston. We'll see temperatures in the upper 50s and lower 60s. For tonight, I'm going to call for an overnight low of about 40 degrees, and we should see the wind begin to kick up after midnight, more likely as we get towards the early morning hours, and probably out of the southeast at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Here's how tomorrow looks. I'm going to call for mostly showers and very windy conditions. That'll make that 56 feel a lot cooler on your exposed flesh, but again, we get to pick up that much-needed precipitation. I think we'll see the rain stick around, or at least some sort of shower activity stick around Thursday and Friday, and just in time for a fall weekend, we'll call for partly cloudy skies on Saturday and Sunday, drying out, 50 and 53. Still don't have the final forecast for you as far as Halloween is concerned, but right now it looks like we're going to see drier weather as we move into Monday.
Ooh.
Let it rain.
Yes, indeed.
Thanks, Tom. Well, just ahead, the possibilities of lost tourism dollars have Coeur d'Alene's most powerful businessman joining the fight against Idaho's Proposition 1.
Also, safety concerns are prompting changes at North Idaho Railroad crossings. We'll show you how as the Nightwatch continues.
Moving day, it's never fun, but with Budget, it's better. Budget Car and Truck Rental of Spokane and Coeur d'Alene takes the hassle out of moving day. Choose the truck you need, call some friends, and load up. Budget carries a full line of moving supplies, and our experienced staff expertly services all trucks before and after each rental. We're a participating member of the nationwide one-way system and truck rentals. Commercial rates available for businesses.
Hi, this is Don Keel, owner of Budget Car and Truck Rental, inviting you to stop by any of our 4 convenient locations. Remember, the smart money is on budget.
Every morning before the store opens, we get everybody together.
Give me a W!
The idea is to get in a real good mood and pass it along to our customers. We call it the Walmart Cheer. Now, some folks might think it's hokey, but it works. It's kind of like a pep rally. I get all pumped up just thinking about it. What does it spell?
It's a perfect time to buy a new car or truck, and even a better time to buy a new Ford Escort, especially from Wendell. Hurry, because only at Wendell can you get 2.9% financing on Escort wagons, Escort 2-door and 4-doors. Every Ford Escort on the Wendell lot loaded with extras, available for a limited time with 2.9% financing. Wendell's got to move them out by October 30th, so hurry before the selection's gone. 2.9% on new Ford Escorts now at Wendell, Division in Wellesley, Spokane.
This summer's wildfires cost Washington taxpayers $112 million. But now that the flames are extinguished, a new battle is blazing. A battle over how to prevent devastating forest fires. Is more logging the answer? Or should the Forest Service let nature take its course and let wildfires burn? You be the judge. Watch Our Times, a KREM 2 News special Wednesday at 9. Sponsored by Spokane Transit Authority and Ernst Home and Nursery.
This is KREM 2 News Nightwatch.
Coeur d'Alene's most powerful person is now supporting the fight for gay rights in North Idaho. Today, KREM 2 News learned resort and newspaper owner Dwayne Hagedorn is bankrolling the Vote No on Proposition 1 campaign. KREM 2's Jeff Humphrey has more on this unlikely alliance between Hagedorn and homosexuals.
Last week, the Lake Coeur d'Alene Resort hosted 50 delegates from the Western State Arts Federation. They had a great time in North Idaho and were ready to reschedule another convention here. That's until they found out about Proposition 1, a move to make it legal to discriminate against homosexuals.
This group came for the first time to Coeur d'Alene. They loved it. They thought Idaho was beautiful. And then they passed a resolution saying that if Proposition 1 passed, they would not come back because they felt that it was discriminatory against many of the people that they represent.
In other states that have already passed anti-gay laws, the promise of boycotts have become painful realities. Colorado lost 32 conventions and $60 million in visitor spending.
I think that these ways of telling people that things are important to the majority of the people in this country are a legitimate weapon.
Apparently, Hagedorn wanted no part of a boycott. His $1,000 contribution is now bankrolling the Vote No on Proposition 1 campaign.
That's your money they're talking about. $25 million just to administer Proposition 1, even more.
His contributions are funding television ads. A yes vote could also cost taxpayer money. It's a sign of Proposition that began as a moral question for voters has now become an issue of economics. Reporting in Coeur d'Alene, Jeff Humphrey, KREM 2 News.
The Idaho Traveler Council has also come out against Proposition 1, but supporters say North Idaho tourism could actually benefit if the initiative passes. They feel many conservative groups would hold conventions in Idaho because of its anti-gay position.
Earlier this evening in our newscasts, we asked you what you thought about anti-gay rights measures. Here's what some of you had to say.
I think that any proposition which limits anyone's civil rights is a blow against the basic idea of what America stands for.
I don't think gays should have special rights. I think they should have equal rights. When you start adding special rights, then everybody else is going to want special rights, and it's taking away from the hardworking citizens that have limited rights as it is.
What is all of this leading to? Why should they have special rights for their lifestyle? I just don't understand it, and I've never heard a good explanation for their lifestyle.
We'd like to thank all of our viewers who contacted our KREM 2 data center.
North Idaho is testing new ways to make its railroad crossings safer. So far this year, 6 people have died in local car-train accidents. So experts are now trying to make rail crossings more visible. The answer may be this new type of sign. It's part of a roadside marker placed at an angle so the headlight of an approaching train makes it easier to see the sign, especially at night. Also today, Idaho transportation officials announced the rail crossings at Beck Road near Hauser Lake is getting new safety equipment sooner than expected. This deadly crossing will get warning lights and crossing arms sometime next year.
Well, could a big earthquake hit the Whidbey Island area? Scientists have discovered a new fault on the island, and they say it has the potential to cause serious earthquakes. Experts at a Geology Society meeting in Seattle said today they can't predict when a quake could hit, but they say it could register 7 on the Richter scale. Budding basketball stars in the Spokane area will now have a place to practice thanks to Hoop Fest. Money from the nonprofit basketball tournament paid for this new basketball court at Harmon Park off Market Street. It is the first in a series of new and renovated courts Hoop Fest will build throughout the city. They will continue to build other courts in hoopless parks throughout our fair city.
Now watch my very good friend Jim McLaren try to slam dunk everyone's beloved Los Angeles Raiders. Not you, Jim.
Not me. No, I wouldn't slam them at all. They're doing it themselves these days. Trouble on the home front of the silver and black. Details when we come back.
Bill Clinton said he was a fiscal conservative. So did Mike Lowry. Now Ron Sims says he's a fiscal conservative. But look at the public record. 21 times in just 8 years, Councilman Ron Sims voted to raise your taxes. 21 times. Since Ron Sims took office, King County's spending has doubled. Ron Sims opposes the balanced budget amendment, but supported the 1993 Clinton tax hike, including higher taxes on Social Security. Fiscal conservatives, how much more can we afford?
October is Car Care Month at your neighborhood Parts Plus Auto Store. Come on in for special car care values like these. Hoses can look good on the outside even when they're worn on the inside. Install the best hoses you can. Use Gates, the world's most trusted name in belts and hoses. Protect your engine with a 100% factory-tested new water pump from Perfect Circle. Longer life and better performance. Perfect Circle. Be sure to enter to win a 1995 Chevy S10 Blazer at your participating Parts Plus auto stores.
There are 95 reasons why the new Ford Windstar is a better buy than all other minivans. Reason number 48. Windstar has a longer wheelbase for better ride and handling. See your Northwest Ford dealer today and get the other 94 reasons why to buy. 95 reasons why the new Ford Windstar is a better buy than all other minivans. Reason number 21. Windstar has standard anti-lock brakes and dual airbags. See your Northwest Ford dealer today and get the other 94 reasons why to buy.
Marie Callender's, where the chocolate's sinful, the cream pie's perfect, the cherries irresistible, the meringues marvelous, the crust a creation. At Marie Callender's, we've been making pies the old-fashioned way, baked fresh every day since 1947. This month, every pie we bake is just $4.95. Marie Callender's, your favorite pie, $4.95.
This is KREM 2 News Nightwatch.
Yes, there is trouble in the land of the silver and black. A couple of weeks ago, L.A. Raider quarterback Jeff Hostetler got into a shouting match with Coach Art Shell. That happening during a 2017 overtime loss in Miami. Well, quick, somebody called the National Enquirer. Rumors floated out that Shell, who is black, made a racially disparaging remark to Hostetler, who was white. Today, they had an obligatory press conference. Hostetler denied the whole thing.
A lot of things happened on the field. There was a long discussion, a heated discussion, but I can honestly say I don't ever recall hearing anything racist being said to my face by Art. And I don't feel that he would make that kind of comment.
Yes, but why the sunglasses? Huh? Coach Shell, meanwhile, says he heard the racism reports on ESPN, but says the network never called him for confirmation, and he, of course, denies them. Basketball, that is where we are headed with the Tuesday edition of the Money Store Play of the Day. This is Phoenix and Orlando. Watch Penny Hardaway. Mid-steal, half-court buzzer, he beats it. Absolutely amazing. That's why he's worth $500 million a year. Absolutely amazing. The NBA is still doing its preseason around the world trip. They've played exhibition games in France, Spain, all kinds of strange places, Tennessee. Tonight they went the easy way. They went to Chicago. Chicago, the Bulls hosting the T-Wolves. Corey Blount, the steal, and then the follow-up jam. Now watch the difference here. See Blount really skies, gets up there, does it again right here. Another steal, runs the floor. He can get up, gets up in the air. Now watch Christian Laettner. He gets the ball, and I don't think he even quite jams it really. Oh, he does. Okay, Bulls win it though, 109-104. Talk about a lead foot. Patrick Ewing on the sidelines, and the Bullets and the Knicks. Tom Gugliotta robbed by John Starks. The Knicks on the break, Greg Anthony. Watch the behind-the-back pass to Starks. Watch this. Whoa! We're talking pretty. The Knicks win at 113-98. Bad news, Sonics suffered their first preseason loss. They fell to the Lakers, 114-113. They are 6-1 in the preseason. Good news for Portland Trailblazer fans. Cliff Robinson, holding out for a new contract or contract extension, is back and practicing.
I'm happy. You know, like I said, both sides had to make compromises, and when you're going head-to-head like that, that's the only way you're going to get something done. So I think, worked out well for both sides, and I'm just looking forward to playing.
And volleyball was the sport du jour in the GSL today. A couple of things on the line there. Gonzaga Prep, everybody went to 5 games in this one. Gonzaga Prep beats Central Valley in 5. North Central upsets Ferris at Ferris in 5. Rogers beats Meade in 5. And Lewis and Clark against U-High. U-High had beat LC once this year. LC is the leading volleyball team in the GSL, but they got the win tonight in 5. Only one loss on the season. The volleyball regular season, by the way, wraps up this week, and then we head off into the state playoffs. LC, one of the big favorites.
Oh, good for them.
Yeah.
Hostetler makes $500 million a year too, but Art Shell runneth the team.
That's right.
Yes.
Plus, Art's bigger than he is.
Oh.
Substantially.
Thanks, Jim.
Still to come on KREM 2 News, love in the afternoon.
Oh.
Steamy? Are soap operas getting too steamy?
Well, find out what soap opera producers are saying just ahead.
Inflation again. Well, you know what that means. Interest rates could be moving higher real soon. Hi, I'm Jim Palmer. If you've been thinking about refinancing your first mortgage, it's not too late to lock in a low rate at the money store. Even if your credit is less than perfect, you can still refinance your mortgage today before rates do go up. So call the money store at 1-800-LOAN-YES. The money store, where America goes for money.
During Nissan's Ultimate Challenge, we'd like to point out some more of the Ultima's advantages. Like it has 8.6% more horsepower than a BMW 318i. It outslaloms an Acura Legend LS sedan by 2.04 miles per hour. And it has a price point over $1,000 less than a Honda Accord EX. So what's the point? 2.9, as in 2.9% financing during the Ultimate Challenge. Hurry, you don't want to be disappointed.
In the year 23,012 BC, Lenny, the traveling salesman, rented the first big round wheel from Thrifty at a nice small rate.
Get a great weekend rate at Thrifty Car Rental starting at just $17.95 per day. Thrifty Car Rental in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene.
Simply check your phone book for the Thrifty location nearest you. Renting wheels at low prices is nothing new to Thrifty. In fact, we invented it. Thrifty Car Rental, historically known for low rates.
Wow, it is roomy inside. This must be the cab forward design I read about. How's it handled?
Well, to demonstrate, I'll only be driving this Eagle Vision from the back seat. Hit it, Lynn.
This Eagle Vision has everything.
Take a left here, Lynn.
Okay. It's got a cool CD player, dual airbags.
Take a right here. It's even got these cooling and heating vents in the back. Left here. It handles just like a sports coupe, right?
Right?
No, left. Left! Lynn?
Test drive a Vision at your Jeep and Eagle dealer or call us.
Tonight, join Art Donovan and Julia Child for a late show feast.
Whoa!
Plus,
hey, we're giving stuff away.
Tonight on CBS.
This is KREM 2 News Nightwatch.
Are you satisfied? Satisfied with goods and services, that is. A new survey says Americans are quite satisfied with products such as beer and cigarettes, but Americans are not pleased with the IRS. Different categories were rated on a scale of 100, and students at the University of Michigan who came up with the study say it shows how the quality of goods and services affects the overall economy.
And finally tonight, soap operas and sex. Some say the two are getting out of hand during daytime TV. A Michigan State University study of 5 daytime soaps found an average of 6.5 sexual incidents per episode.
Oh, my.
Is that a lot?
Yes.
This weekend, soap opera producers gathered at the first ever Soap Summit in Los Angeles to discuss the issue. Many agreed soaps need to set a better example of promoting safer sex, while others insisted they already do promote sexual responsibility. Still others insisted soap operas are fantasy and should be treated
Enough is
as
enough.
such. Tom Sherry was on a soap opera down in Hollywood a year or two ago.
He wasn't doing anything
I
like
didn't
that,
know
though.
that stuff.
Was there a lot of sex on that show?
Not when I showed up, it just all stopped. Just kind of all just...
Are you a little overheated over there?
I'm a little overheated. There was a lot of stuff going on there. Hey, we got a lot of stuff going on in the weather. Matter of fact, this is the way your wake-up weather is going to look. We're going to look for 42 degrees at 6 a.m., wind out of the south at 12 miles an hour. And by noontime, we'll see 52. I think that's when the rain's really going to begin to kick in. Southerly winds at 18. And it looks like by 6 p.m., we'll see 56 degrees. So a couple of storm systems headed our way. Get ready for some rain throughout tomorrow, as well as into Thursday and Friday.
Okay, boy, we're looking forward to that rain.
Yes.
Lorene and Darren will be here at 6 a.m.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night.
Good night.